Welcome back, Webullers and new investors and traders. I was thinking about something this past weekend, and I kind of discovered something I should have been paying attention to a long time ago. As you know, I posted a previous intro video, and we're going to cover some things, some technical indicators and chart drawings, and all those other fantastical wizardry devices. But is probably at the top of everything I could possibly mention that I have learned about in the last 6 months to a year. This might be my absolute favorite piece of information and advice that I can give. I was going to wait to post and give it, but considering I know a lot of you guys are new and have asked a lot of questions, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it. This is called the Kdj Indicator. For those of you guys who've already known about it, then you're way ahead of the game, and you can just bypass this video altogether. But for those who haven't, this is probably the most surefire way to give you the confidence to make a good trade, and not have the guess, not have this, is it going to go up? And I see a lot of comments on the posts that are asking lots of other people, hey, what is this going to today? Is this going to make me any money? Am I going to lose? Is it going down? Well, here is your indicator that's going to tell you. Are you going to make a positive trade today? Or are you going to be able to lock in profits? So right now what I have on the screen, and I told you earlier that I was going to discuss the MFA financial stock that I'd covered a couple days ago. If you look all the way down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see the Kdj indicator. We're not going to talk about the DMA right now or the percent B, but if you look at the Kdj, you'll notice a few different numbers. You have in parentheses 14, 3, and 3. I'm not going to go real in depth over what the Kdj stands for, when it was developed, and all that. It's similar to a stochastic indicator, except that it's got 3 lines. The 14, the 3, and the 3 are 14 periods. That's your long line or your slow line. Your 3 and 3, your first 3 is your fast line, which is, you'll see a little purple line that kind of zigzags or waves through the yellow line. And then your other 3 is your smoothing factor. And what this basically is an average of your price action over 14 periods. Now, these 14 periods can be 14 5-minute periods, 1-minute periods. It really depends on whatever time frame chart you're looking at. But it can apply to anything. You can use it for day trading, swing trading. If you're holding long term, it's all going to apply. Now you have your K number, your D number, and your J number. I really won't go super in depth over what those individually mean. I'm just going to show you really quickly for tomorrow. I know a lot of you guys are looking. Pay special attention to the yellow line and the percent D number. Okay, this is extremely important. I'm going to pinch right in a little bit. And if you look at the D line, the yellow line, it forms this really smooth, fluid line. And if I were to give you a big long piece of paper and I were to draw a line similar to that, at any point, I hand you a marker. I'll stop drawing, I hand you a marker and say, continue this pattern. Well, you know it's not going to fall off. You know it's not going to shoot through the roof. You will be able to predictably finish the pattern, or at least finish the curve if it's on an up curve. This is hugely important if you're a day trader. If you're looking pre-market and you're looking to make a trade, in addition to the direction of the curve, the individual number itself on any given candle is extremely important, and I'll show you what I mean. The other day, we were looking at MFA Financial, and pre-market, it started to take off. And a lot of people, if they were lucky enough, they got in pre-market and they held it for, let's see, what was it going at pre-market? $1.47. below $1.50. It went as high as $2.90, and that is one heck of a percentage increase. And that's why we all jumped on it while we were looking at it. Now, I just kind of want to show you, I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to find a really heavy descent. We'll start here. We'll go back a little bit. There's a peak on that yellow line, on your D line. That number is 56. And these, mind you, are 30-minute intervals. Each candle represents 30 minutes of trade. So as we scroll through and continue down this downtrend, you'll notice the D naturally goes down. And it's going down pretty sharply. Goes down 5, 4. 4 looks, it will back up. 4 was its lowest point. As you steadily progress forward, it's building momentum. It's building momentum. It continues to build momentum even over red candles. And that is a good sign. It's showing that any slow building wave will continue its momentum upwards or downwards if there is enough percentage increase in that number. I mean, if it's negligible, you're talking 1 or 2 points, it might just be flat. But as we go into the pre-market hour, you'll notice something. We're already in the 50s again. It was in single digits. Lots of interest. 56, 55, it's kind of flattened off. 56, we're approaching market open. 58, 63. I mean, that's a huge incremental increase pre-market. Now, if you're the type that has ever, and I've done it, you've ever saw something go pre-market, it was running through the roof, and you're like, man, I got to jump on this. And then right after you buy it, for the rest of the day, it's losing. It's pretty disheartening. You're thinking it's going to spike up again. Even MFA, I have so many comments are like, this is going to the moon, it's going to 4, it's going to 5. I'm not trying to listen to any of that nonsense. I'm looking at pre-market numbers. I'm looking at my D factor, percent D. And then as soon as the market opens, I'm looking how much it has increased pre-market. That is a slow, steady increase in the up curve of the wave. I know almost beyond the shadow of a doubt that if I buy in right here or even just before that, it's got enough history that says this is going up. Conversely, as we go up and you're wondering, hey, is this going to continue to go up? Is it going to keep going up? You'll have your answer. Okay, we get as high as, let's see, 69, 73, 75. It's still going up, 80. We're at a peak, 80, 79. We already caught our high at 80. At the minute, on a 30-minute, that this makes any significant decrease, 76, I'm selling. I'm logging in profits. For those of you who have bought in cheaply and you watched that this thing shot up as soon as from the time the market opened to the time it hit its peak, I believe it was 34%. You could have cut it. You could have made 34%. And then I called it right after that by looking at, chart analysis, resistance lines. It dropped about 45%, I think. And then I think by the end of the day, it closed at 217. You would have a perfect exit point right as soon as you saw, even if you waited to the next bar, 76, a great exit opportunity. And then, although I know most of you just see the red, if you decided that you wanted to go a 5-minute chart after you made your initial buy-in based on a 30 minutes is stronger than a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, buy in on your 30-minute chart, and then go up here and maybe we'll go to a 5. Go to a 5-minute. Where are we at? 290. You could have zoomed in here. You could have actually, once you made your buy-in, follow this. At any point in time, I think it had several minor upswings, 223 to 248. Those are fairly minimal, but you could have still cut and then double stacked an additional percentage, and then towards the tail end of this day, caught it again at 229 to 290. And I believe it, yeah, there we go, dropped to $1.64. You could have cut it then, bought it back at $1.64 by watching your delta, your percent D. 26, 24, 20, 18, 15, 13. Right about, looks like 11 was your low. 13, 14, 15, 18. As you notice that pattern gaining significant momentum, not just little blips, 1 or 2 points, but as it gains significant momentum, this is your sure indicator. This is your surefire way to know that, hey, I'm not losing on this deal, even if I only catch 10%. Over time, if you lock in enough 3, 4, 5, 6% trades, which is pretty easy to do for educated investors, you're going to be amazed at the results that you get. So in addition to some of these, the nice, smooth, wavy D percent, you have your J percent, which is an indicator that signifies overbought and oversold conditions, and we'll cover that in a whole different lesson. But it's extremely important tomorrow, and I hope I'm covering it enough to make it clear that your delta or your D percent is hugely important in predicting, especially on a 30-minute time frame, which stocks that are going to trade really great for you that day. You're going to lock in profits and not have a problem. And I think that's what we're all after. After reading the comments and a lot of people wondering, is it going up? Is it going down? I think I calculated on all the significant swings on MFA that you could have walked away with upwards of 83%. No joke. It was 34%. I think there was another rise of about 16%, and then after it fell 45%, you could have picked it up again and made like another 28%. All throughout the day, there were several points where if you were to read the chart, read your Kdj indicator, you could have walked away with 83% instead of buying it at its open at 216, and then it closed, I think, 0.7% lower than what it opened at. I hope you guys get something out of this, and I hope I explained it well enough, but it's hugely important. And I think if you go into the week understanding the concept, it's definitely going to help you. And if you're the type to hold stocks for a little bit longer, you can always increase this to say you want to know how this is doing on a longer term trend. I mean, you can bump it out to 2 hours and zoom in a little bit. You go right here and you could have caught any number of signals, 55, 60, 70, 80, as it's slowly decreasing significantly. See, now you caught the rise from about here to here, which is going to be $7.79 to $8.07. Once you can find your peak, 88, 86. All right, so now we're starting to drop off. 82, 74, 75, 65, 55. We're in the 50s, 40s. This is an obvious sell signal. And then you could have saved yourself huge losses. And as soon as you found your bottom, 16, 18, now we're increasing again. We're looking at that D number, 22, 32. You know for a fact that you're on a positive upswing. You can day trade this, swing trade this, however you want to use it. It's there, and it is extremely accurate. So going into tomorrow, I would love to hear some feedback if anybody gets to use this. see how it works out for you, and I hope all of you make some money tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, tune in. I'm going to post another video. We'll talk about candlesticks. Where's my